right, let's talk. The title of this one, It's Good to Be Lost. I'm just thinking of a time when I was with my family on vacation for spring break. We went to Hawaii, and that was a great trip. This one day, we went to Pearl Harbor and got to, walk on those battleships, USS whatever, and I was so enthralled by everything and all the technology and stuff that I ended up wandering off and couldn't find my parents or any of my siblings. And that first little inkling of fear began to form in me, and it only continued to grow as I began to frantically search over the entire ship for my family, looking for them. I figured they would be looking for me too. But after, 10 or 15 minutes, I didn't see them at all. And I remember hearing that if you're lost, it's best to just stay in one place. It makes it easier to find. So that's what I did. And I just sat down in this little room where there was a screen playing some kind of historical documentary, some type of thing. And kind of just accepted my fate. And obviously I was eventually found by my parents, but I bring that up because I don't know, it just hit me right as I pressed record on this that type of energetic pattern of that event has played out multiple times throughout my life from that first situation. And I have that same exact emotion that the little boy did, that my inner child did, that's still in there somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, it's hard to say that was a good or bad thing, and I'll talk more about that later. Life comes in seasons. Life always moves in seasons. Everything moves in cycles. Everyone loves the spring and the summer when everything begins to bloom, blossom, and grow and escape from the tyranny of winter. And then we get to autumn, when you really get to reap the harvest of all the good things that have happened to you in that season of life. And things have been going good for so long, you almost forget that winter even exists, and then it hits you. Usually all of a sudden and out of nowhere. Sometimes there's a little warning. If you're really getting more in tune with yourself, you can kind of tell when things are about to shift. But that winter, man. Winter is when life feels cold, unforgiving, restrictive, fear, doubt, and sadness take over, and you're just feeling totally lost. You can't control your thoughts, your mind is racing all the time. You're worried about the next meal, where your next check is gonna come from, worrying about your relationships. Winter can be brought on by so many different events, and we've all experienced these seasons of our lives. And though it's really hard, I want you to consider that your suffering is not meaningless. It's not just you being tossed around by the fates of the universe and God having a laugh at your expense. Look out at the world around you. As winter prepares the earth for the rebirth of spring, so do the personal winters prepare you for the rebirth of yourself. That's a bar. As winter prepares the earth for the rebirth of spring, so do the personal winters prepare you for the rebirth of yourself. We can't have the light without the dark, can we? So when we're in that dark, what do we do with it? Well, luckily we have this thing called free will, and that allows us to determine actually what that means. See, the hard circumstances don't actually mean anything in and of themselves. That's for you to decide. It's like, say you just get fired from your job. Your mind instantly begins to create a story of, oh, I guess I wasn't a good enough worker, or I guess I'm not valued by these people. And those beliefs begin to strike deeply. They cut you deeply. They hurt, right? So remember, you don't have to buy into that story. Instead, the story could be, universe felt that this job was out of alignment for me, and I don't know that much about the world when I'm really being honest with myself, so maybe this is actually preparing me for something that suits me better. You can decide that. You can make whatever story you want. This is a create your own universe here. It's like the dishwasher in my house broke recently, and I was upset. My roommate was upset, but when something dies or breaks down, it's always clearing the way for something new. And I just got my new dishwasher installed yesterday, and it's fantastic. Now I'm so glad my dishwasher broke. It's so funny. You can perceive the world exactly as you want to perceive it. If you want to feel that positive emotion, you can tell yourself that story. There's no story that's more valid than any others. Like there's a big saying, everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? People always say that. I mean, it's true. Like, you can't be in their head and do their like frontal lobe executive function logical processing for them, can you? Like, ridiculous. So everyone creates their own reality. Some people are just more aware of it than others. And this also brings to mind, I have it here, the Taoist or Zen, I don't know. I don't get paid enough to do this research. The story of the Zen farmer, and I think it illustrates this point perfectly. There once was an old Zen farmer. Every day, the farmer used his horse to help work his fields and keep his farm healthy. But one day, the horse ran away. All the villagers came by and said, "We're so sorry to hear this. This is such bad luck." But the farmer responded, "Bad luck, good luck, who knows?" The villagers were confused, but decided to ignore him. A few weeks went by, and then one afternoon, while the farmer was working outside, he looked up and saw his horse running towards him. But the horse was not alone. The horse was returning to him with a whole herd of horses. Now the farmer had 10 horses to help work his fields. All the villagers came by to congratulate the farmer and said, "Wow, this is such good luck." But the farmer responded, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" A few weeks later, the farmer's son came over to visit and help his father work on the farm. While trying to tame one of the horses, the farmer's son fell and broke his leg. The villagers came by to commiserate and said, "How awful, this is such bad luck." Just as he did the first time, the farmer responded, "Bad luck, good luck, who knows?" A month later, the farmer's son was still recovering. He wasn't able to walk or do any manual labor to help his father around the farm. A regiment of the army came marching through town, conscripting every able-bodied young man to join them. When the regiment came to the farmer's house and saw the young boy's broken leg, they marched past and left him where he lay. Of course, all the villagers came by and said, "Amazing! This is such good luck. You're so fortunate." And you know the farmer's response by now. Bad luck, good luck. Who knows? Life is funny, man. We really don't know shit. We really don't know shit, man. Like, think about this. Reflect on that and apply it to some situations that happen in your life. I can't find a job right now. Well, oh, what terrible luck. I'm having no luck in finding a job. Well, bad luck or good luck? Who knows? Do you really know? I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So why spend all this time being so convinced of a story that your own mind has created, which you don't even want to believe because it hurts you? It's so silly. Yeah, to draw on more Taoist wisdom, you know, it's expressed in Taoism that to move with the flow of life, which they call the Tao, to move with the Tao is the best way to the easiest, most harmonious life. We create so many problems for ourselves that are unnecessary. We have so much baggage that we refuse to look at and yet subject ourselves to all the time. Like 12 years ago, when you said that awkward thing to the one woman in a grocery line, you still think about that and your mind still like whips you with that thought over and over again. But you don't have to allow that. You can just say, oh, that was just a lesson in, you know, better social manners. Or, oh, I learned that I could have said this thing and it would have worked well. You know, you learn something from everything. You never are put in a negative situation just for the express purpose of suffering. That's not how God's universe works. Look, I've tried living this way myself, surrendering and refusing to fight with my circumstances and with my thoughts. And I feel like it's the most intelligent way to go about life. Because, look, this is so simple. This is actually so simple. Look at this. There's me, and then there's my environment. But there's really not. It's all just this one thing. And when I see what's in front of me, when I see that object or anything around in this room, that lamp back there, I decide to give it a meaning. It's like, oh, that lamp is so bright, or oh, that lamp is so beautiful. Nah, it's not really a good example. It's like when, what is a good example? Okay, I don't need an example. Look, it's just so simple. This reality is in front of us right now. Getting mad at it, or fearing it, telling some kind of story, getting yourself all worked up just because of this reality that's sitting there doing nothing is so foolish. Like, reality is reality, and none of your thoughts about it are going to change that. So why fight it? That's the wisdom of the Tao. Like, stop fighting. Have you ever won? Have you ever, you know, someone ever said something mean to you and then you're just in your head for the rest of the day like, oh, I'm gonna tell. Has that ever resulted in you winning that situation? It's so funny. We love to have these little arguments in our head. We're in the shower and we're thinking back to the argument we had 2 days ago and like, oh, I should have said this and then I would have won. But you would not have won. You're still just suffering from that situation or encounter that happened days ago that doesn't even exist anymore. You live in a new reality now. Just stop. Just chill. Give up the fight. You don't have to fight. Life becomes so much easier when you just rest, allow things to wash over you, and you don't try and grab the riverbed or try and grab the edges of the riverbank as the river's flowing over you. You just let it carry you. You don't know if it would be best to be left on that riverbank. You might be stranded out in the woods for weeks. Instead, that river might carry you to a nice city. It's just like anything. You can do this with anything. You can requalify any situation. So let me close this video off. I don't consistently live this way. I go back and create battles in my mind every day, but in those seasons when I do live just with the flow of life, everything becomes easier. Challenging situations become less common. And life just begins to unfold easily and harmoniously for you. So try this out. Try this out, please. Live today in a state of radical surrender and watch what happens. Love you.